Hello model railroaders, it's Dave. Welcome back to the layout. A bit of a progress update for you. I've just completed the secondary mainline track, so we'll do a overview, overfly, bird's eye view, whatever you want to call it of that. And let's get to it. Still have to do all the bus lines work, but at least the major track laying has been accomplished. So this is the area here where the passenger terminal will be. So we come off the main line and isolate it here, and then we come down, and then we'd have to reverse back into the passenger terminal, continuing on, and then of course the previous mentioned in the previous video about the turn off, and that will lead me into the center section, which will be predominantly industry based, which I have not developed a track plan for yet, but I have decided I am going to put it all on foam, and we'll get into that in a future video. So continuing on, running down the face of the layout here, and I had to jog in a little bit to allow my 19 to 20 inch radius. So this will be the yard or the industry spur joining back into the secondary main line. Now I've got a curved Pico turnout right hand here, and that will loop around the outside of the main line and go wherever it's going to go into this area, but will not cross over the bridge area there. So that will be its own little industry or town or whatever I decide to do. I have not sorted that out yet. So continuing on, our 20 inch radius, which all my main lines are minimum 20, well 19 because of the Atlas joiners, such as right here. I'm using the Atlas joiners just for the rigidity of going over the transitioning from one module to another. So that's why I say it's between a 19 and a 20, because I do end up using some 19s. There's another 19 right here, and then going back into the Pico track, and then a straight track transition on that joint, and then proceeding along. Surprisingly, this took me the most time, was to sort out where the track was going to go over what will be the future water effect, and then sorting out some piers for the bridge. So now this bridge is high enough that it will allow double stacked container cars to pass through it without them hanging up as they enter the bridge. So I like that, and again, once I sort out things in the future, I'll come along and contour this wood out. But for now, I just want to get this in place so that I know what's going where. And then we continue on up this way. And then as you can see, I've got another turnout here that will provide whatever I may want to do in this blank area. And then isolator there, and then this will be powered off the main bus line, and this will be powered off of a secondary line. So this is the line I have to deal with all the tight spaced wiring. and then joining back up onto the main line on this curved turnout here. So just a quick overview. I haven't vacuumed anything. That's my next goal, is to get everything vacuumed, and then I'll jumper the track in a couple spots over onto the main line so that I can get the cleaning car running along it, and then it'll be time to move some trains out of the yard. All this pile up in here, because I need to get up under to deal with all these leads now, to get them hooked up to the secondary bus line. So, future for me is a trip to pick up some 22 gauge wire, but once the bus line's in, then that'll be the major work here done. What is still on the plans is to run a siding starting here, paralleling, and then I've got to build the second truss bridge to replace that temporary wooden span with the two truss bridges, which will be the main line return and the passing siding, and then the siding will join up down there before the hill/mountain starts. So that's where we're at. I just wanted to give you a progress update, since it'll be probably about 2 weeks since the last video, though I've been plugging away at it slowly. It's surprising how long it takes to lay track when you're spiking it the way I do. But once it's down, it's solid. So that's I'm happy with the progress made. And next up is to at least get the rough siding over here dealt with. Get those Pico turnouts installed. And after that, I was fortunate enough to find out one of our local-ish hobby shops a deal for $8, though I am going to have to spray paint it because all of the grays seem to be a different color. Very frustrating, but with the nicer weather I was able to paint my brown gray, so I'll just clean up all the flashing on these and get them painted up, and then I will actually end up having to shift this down another few inches, so I'll have to redo the base because the way it sits now, it's starting to narrow here, and I would really prefer it to be the edge starting about another 3 inches more over. So and that will be one long structure, and then I'll have to dig out one of my DPM kits that I'll end up using as the station. But we'll just say that this section is the newer section because the concrete is not aged. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, and then the back ones won't be very visible when I get them installed, so I'm not too concerned about that. But that will hopefully finish off the passenger structure, and then I'll have to build that bridge so that I can actually use that siding for parking, and either start sorting out the industry down here, or get back to the previous project of getting the tortoise switch machines installed under these 7 turnouts in the quarry siding. So, and then if I'm doing that, I've still got the what I'm reticent to work on is, because I know it's going to be frustrating for me, is trying to get the turntable positioned and get that hole cut and then start laying all the track for that. So the turntable would be the ideal way to go since I've already got the structure. However, I remember seeing in the Walters catalog quite a while ago, it was an HO that was a lateral motion well, so that the bridge, instead of rotating around, slid back and forth. That is what I would really like here. However, you know, then I guess I can always sell it. But I'm kind of, that idea is in my head of using that lateral motion bridge instead of the turntable. So I don't know, I probably need one turntable somewhere to rotate the engines around as needed, but I'm figuring that if they're going to be driving into the turntable anyway, you know, it's not that big of a deal. And instead of a pie-shaped roundhouse, actually go with a multi-bayed rectangular shape. But again, that would end up changing my turnout there that I've already planned for, and that turnout there that I've already installed. So I don't know. I'm probably going to deal with that last because it's not a major issue. The locos that I've got that are already programmed with DCC, they can sit in their cases or sit on the display shelf for now. I've got enough locos populating the layout currently to run the individual trains that I've already got built up. So I'm leaving that aside till later, and I'm going to focus on getting some trains running. So that's my goal as the week progresses, is to get the vacuum out and do a thorough vacuuming, jumper some rails, and get some trains moving around. So I will try and capture some video of the new track being utilized, and we'll see you on the next video, or you'll see me, I guess, on the next video. Bye for now.